What is up, guys? Media Master Menard here today, bringing you guys another video, and today we're talking about Sony's backlash and PR nightmare that they're facing after their policy or lack thereof on crossplay. Just a quick heads up, this Fortnite gameplay you're seeing I got last night with my boy Zach, aka Sorry for the Wait 2, and we kind of had ourselves a nice little duo game. He had 7 kills, I had 5, nothing too crazy, but there were some good moments of action. Full disclosure, I have owned every single Sony console, so call me a fanboy if you will. I also own a Nintendo Switch currently, and I guess that knowledge is probably important to note before this discussion starts. Sony has been on a pedestal of this generation and has been regarded for being pro-gamer and making meaningful exclusives that gamers truly care about. However, if you pay much attention to the game industry or community as a whole as of late, Sony has been under quite a bit of fire for its hard stance on not wanting crossplay with other competing consoles. Gamers are usually always up in arms about something, and this too could just be gamers being mad for the sake of being outraged about something. I'm here to argue, however, that gamers truly don't care about crossplay as much as they're letting on, and also to discuss how it really isn't a smart business decision for Sony as a company. To understand this whole situation, we have to look at the origin of it. This whole situation mostly started due to the fact that Sony will not allow PS4 players to play Fortnite or games like Minecraft with players that own a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox One. While Sony won't allow this, competing consoles like Nintendo Switch and Xbox One are allowing crossplay between each other for both Fortnite and Minecraft. Sony is also locking people out of their Epic Games accounts so they can't be used on other platforms. So if you buy skins on Xbox One or Switch, they won't transfer over to your PS4 account and vice versa. I can kind of understand the notion of wanting your skins to transfer over to any console that you play on, and I understand how it's kind of crappy that Sony is hijacking people's accounts and making them pretty much worthless on the other systems. It should be noted that PS4 can still crossplay with mobile and PC for Fortnite, just not competing consoles. And it actually has a lot of crossplay games with PC for other titles like MMOs and MOBAs. So this notion that Sony is evil and won't play nice is just overblown in my opinion, and it's kind of a fallacy created by fans so that they can be angry about something. I mean, the first thing I think when I see people getting mad and outraged about this is, yes, some of these things like crossplay could be very useful and make your console a little bit nicer for everybody, but it isn't going to make or break a system. And when has crossplay ever existed? When did gamers become so entitled to crossplay? I mean, nobody bought their PS4, Xbox One, or Nintendo Switch expecting to play games with the other consoles. This just isn't something that's being advertised or promised. I mean, they are direct competitors, so I can't really see them trying to help each other out too much. And another question that really comes to my head is, what do gamers even gain from having crossplay? To me, I really can't find out what that answer is. It's different for everybody, so I can't really speak for others as well. I know some people would like to play games with their friends, but in my case personally, all my friends that I like to game with, for the most part, have a PS4, so that is very nice. We kind of coordinated that all out. The only thing I can really think of is that games that have low player bases could really benefit from crossplay, because combining the console populations would make sure that matchmaking times stay low and that everyone can have an enjoyable experience. But Fortnite doesn't fall into this category at all. It has the most players of like any game on the planet currently, so I don't understand how this game started the outrage like it did. Let's look at the Sony locking Epic Games account aspect a little bit more, and it's a very moral gray area. And for any other DLC, would you guys expect to be able to transfer over that DLC to a different console? I mean, if you bought the map pack on PS4 for Call of Duty, would you expect that to transfer over to your Xbox One version of Call of Duty? It would be very convenient, but to me it's just very unrealistic to expect this. This is a business and companies want to make money. I guess me overall, I personally haven't met anybody whose gaming experience would drastically change because of crossplay being added, or because Sony locking out Epic Games accounts. Maybe because Fortnite is free, it's kind of added some sense of entitlement to fans that they deserve this and that, but I guess it really just doesn't make sense to me why people are so mad. Sony hasn't done anything to really cheat players out of their money or nickel and dime them here and there, and they aren't breaking promises that they made. So to me, I really don't get it. That's basically all I can say. I know I've said that a lot, but to me, I guess it just doesn't make sense to me, and maybe it's because this issue doesn't affect me too much. But because things have always been this way isn't a valid argument, so let's kind of look at the business aspect of this. After all, Sony is first and foremost a business. And let's look at why Sony really has no interest in a crossplay environment. Sony has a majority share in the market right now, and it's estimated that they have more players than Xbox One and Switch combined. So why would they take away a reason for gamers to buy their console? In this generation, in the short term at least, it would be a foolish decision to allow crossplay when not allowing it could allure more PS4 sales due to people wanting to play with their friends. They can easily reverse their policy before the next generation of consoles come out to gain the favor of fans back. There's an argument to be made that Sony is currently hurting their PR, but this argument has really been blown out of proportion. People are comparing this to the E3 reveal of the Xbox One and that public relations nightmare, and it's just really nothing on that scale, and comparing it to that is just foolishness. Let's take a look at the financial reasons why Sony is locking out player accounts. It's because that Sony takes a cut of every purchase that happens in the PlayStation Store, same as Microsoft does on their Microsoft Store. And Sony doesn't want Microsoft getting paid and then offering goods on the PlayStation Store. That really doesn't benefit PlayStation at all. They want their cut of the money for their platform. So allowing Microsoft to also profit on goods that will be used on Sony's platform, they're locking out player accounts. I mean, this is essentially the equivalent of Nike selling Under Armour shoes in their store. It just wouldn't make sense as a business. Crossplay would kind of blend the systems together and make the PS4 less enticing of a product, so obviously Sony is not on board. Seeing Microsoft and Nintendo take direct shots at Sony trying to increase their own PR while dragging Sony's through the mud is very intriguing and something I frankly haven't seen in gaming before. This video being made in the aftermath of this outrage is also somewhat telling. Nobody is truly angry and upset right now, and everyone has put their pitchforks down. And how time affects this issue, no one can really know. The beginning of the next console generation will be very interesting to see how the landscape shapes up, and to see if this is still an issue really. Will the pressure get to Sony, or will they stay in the line that they've drawn in the sand? All my arguing points could be wrong and thrown out the window in 2 or 3 years as public opinion champions Microsoft and Nintendo come through and leapfrog Sony. But what do you guys think? Will Sony cave in and implement crossplay? Is it even important to you that crossplay exists with other consoles? And is Sony evil? Let me know the answer to all those questions down in the comments below. Sorry if this video was all jumbled and all over the place. It was kind of just me rambling on. But if you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be bringing you guys more movies, TV, video game, and anime content. I'm going to leave a link to my Twitter down in the description below so you can find out when I post new videos. And until then, this is Master Menard, signing off.